Hi everybody, this is a follow-up video for using the overlay editor. Um, some people are confused on how to use it, and I didn't explain myself very clearly on some of the manipulation keys and what you can do, so this is going to be like a part 2 to show you how it works a little more clearly, I hope. So you want to edit and add stuff to a scenery. We'll call it a custom scenery. First of all, what I do is I put my overlay editor on my desktop. See, it's a shortcut, so it's easier to get at. So we'll open it up. Take a minute to load it here because I got a big flight sim. I got lots of files, and I'm going to show you what the keys do and help you have a better understanding how it works. And I apologize, I got a terrible cold, so excuse my sneezing and coughing. It's loading up. And there's quite a few things I should have explained and I didn't, and I apologize for that, so hopefully this will clear it up. And I didn't mention either, when you the thing doesn't seem to work very good for default airports, but I'll show you what I do with default airports to get around it. Here we're loaded up. Now this here thing here, this is for finding your default airports. You can go by name or you can go by ICAO. I found the ICAO is easier to work with. And if you open up, let's just pick one. I'll just pick this one, okay. And you see, now it's on an angle. I use my mouse wheel, see, mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And you see it's on an angle, it's kind of tilted. So you use your page up to flatten it out. And your page down to tilt it. See? Page up, page down. So I'll zoom in on the airport. And this one has absolutely nothing on it. See, there's no buildings or anything. And we could pick this one. And what I do is I go to my, there's no objects, click this arrow, slide down, search results. Now you can type anything in the search for airplane, aircraft, buildings. I'll type in hangar. And then I can use this wheel and I can scroll down and I can find a hangar. Hangar 110. There's a hangar. And you see this red dot? That's where it's going to appear. It appears where the red dot is. So I click plus, and there it is. And as long as it's over the red dot, you can use your Q to spin it left, your E to spin it right. And maybe people are having trouble with that. And while it's highlighted purple, that's when you can work on it. That's when you can do all this thing. Once you got it where you want it, you click on the map somewhere else, and it turns white or different color. That means you can't work on it anymore. It's finished. And if you watch, I'll hit the Q key. See, I'm holding the Q key down. It doesn't do anything. Or the E key. For you to work on it, it's got to be highlighted. So there, I clicked on it, made it purple again. Now I can spin it. And I can zoom down on it. And what happens is, if you want to spin it, you got to be over top of that red dot. If you're not over the top of the red dot, watch it. I hold down my left mouse button on top of the object, and I can move it around. See, up and down. I'm using my mouse to do this by holding down the left mouse button. And if it's over here, and it's not on that red dot, watch what happens when I hit the Q key. It still turns, but it turns like in a circle. So for you to get it to turn stationary, you've got to move the mouse. You've got to left mouse key, put it over the red dot, and then you can move it. See? So I hope you can grasp that. Now let's say I want to put that building down here somewhere. I can take it. Let's make an angle here. I can take it. I can slide it down here. And I decided, oops, I'll zoom out a little bit here. Now to move the map, you can hold your, you use your up arrows and your down arrows. So I'll use my down arrow to move it up so I can get it in, my left arrow to move it in the center. And that's how you move that red dot around with your arrow keys. Now the thing is, if I spin this building here, using the Q key, let's use the Q key, and I want to, or the E key, and I want to straighten it out to line up with this line. That's what happens when I hold the button down. So there's a lot of ways you can move it around. I can hold the arrow button and move it until it's lined up with that line the way I want it. Then I can left click on it and hold the mouse button down, and I can move it and put it where I want it, right? Or do that again. Spin it. If it's on an angle again like this, instead of doing it that way, you can use your arrow key and bring the red dot over to it, put it on top of it, and then spin it with your E key and line it up that way. That's the way you move things around. And if you don't want it, you see, now it's in place, right? If I clicked, if I wanted to close this, I say, okay, that's the way I want it. I want to close it. It'll ask you, do you want to save the changes? So you got to click that and it'll change it. So I'll cancel that so I can show you some more. Now, somebody said, well, I don't know how to remove all the stuff I put in. Do I have to reinstall the scenery? No, all you got to do is come back in here, restart your overlay editor, come back in here, click on the airport that you were working on in here, and then the item you want to remove, you just highlight it. When you highlight it and turn it purple, the red X appears, and you just click the red X and it's gone, right? That's all you got to do. And some airports that have buildings in them already, let's say I'll go in here and see a different one here. Let's try one more. I'll get down here and I'll pick here Williams Lake. And I'll pick a different one. Victoria Harbor. No, Victoria Harbor. Athabasca. I know that's just a default airport. Athabasca. And you see, here's a building on Athabasca that I can't remove because a lot of these default airports, everything is embedded. You can't get rid of it. So, what was that? I was just looking at. Athabasca is CYWM. Okay? In the default airport, I can't work on anything. You can't click on these buildings and get rid of them. I want to put a different building here. I can't. So what I do is CYWM. I go into my Google Chrome and I type in here CYWM X-Plane Gateway. And see, right here it is, right here, CYWM Gateway. And the one with the green check mark, you just download it, and it'll tell you. See, it'll say here, the scenery pack is already included in X-Plane 11.30 and 11.20. You sure you want to download it? Sure I do. And there it is. And now, I can put it in my custom scenery folder. Custom scenery folder. And when I start up the game, I can close this now. That's what he did with that airport. Then I just close this. Start up the game to get it into my scenery ini file. Bear with me here. This thing's going to take a minute to load. As my flight sim is huge. 2.5 terabytes, so I gotta load all those files. It takes a minute, and that's the price of adding a ton of add-ons. The more add-ons you add, the longer it takes your game to load. But I usually start it up like this, and then I go make myself a coffee. Shouldn't take too long. There, now it's loaded up. Now I can close it. If I go into my scenery ini file, these are all the custom sceneries I've got. Scenery ini file. You see, there it is right at the top. CYWM scenery pack. That's that default airport that I loaded from the gateway. So I'm going to put this I'll put this down. What I want to do is put it down below my libraries. Here's all my libraries, so I'll put it way down here somewhere. Stick it in here somewhere so it's below the libraries. Paste. So, save it, yes. So now I start up my overlay editor again. And you see what I've just done? I've just turned a default airport into a custom scenery airport by downloading it from the gateway. Because you notice when that was in default, there was nothing I could really do with it. Everything was embedded. So we'll load it up here. And for some reason, when you download a default scenery from the gateway and then put it in the game, it'll be listed as CYWM scenery pack. You always have the word scenery pack at the end of it, denoting that it's a default airport that you put into your custom scenery. But I do that for purposes of working on it with this thing here. So we start it up. And this is where somebody's getting confused. He doesn't know how to reopen stuff. So you see, you remember I stuck my CYWM into my custom scenery folder. This is all your default airports. But your custom scenery folder airports all go over here into this folder. So now if you want to work on, I want to work on that CYWM, I click on this folder, and this is all my custom sceneries. I can drag this down to speed it up. And I go to CYWM. Oh, too far. Here it is right here. See, CYWM scenery pack. So now it's moved over to this folder, which is a custom scenery folder. So I can click on this, and I can open it. Loading her up. This is the downside of having too many folders and files. And there it is there. And you see these red boxes. Now, because I put it in the custom scenery folder, now I can work on stuff. You see that airport, that building right there? I don't want that building. They've got two things going on in here, see? So I'm going to click on that. They put two of these buildings together to make one, so I don't want that. So I'm going to highlight it. See? Highlight it. Turn it purple so that this red X appears. Click and delete it. Click on this one. Delete it. And let's find a different, see, this is the library. This is everything that's in it. So if you take it from the gateway, you can change it. Now I'm going to put something. You see, he's got a couple. You zoom right in. He's got a couple cars here. He's put cars here, and it was kind of silly. He used two hangars to make one hangar to cover this hangar, because when you open up the overlay editor, it takes it from Google Maps, so it looks like ortho, right? You see, it looks like ortho. So I'm going to put a different hangar here, so I can go in here instead of 1,000 roads. I want search results, so I'll click on this little arrow, and I'll go down. I'll click on search results at the bottom, and search results will type in here hangar, and can't spell, G-A-R. And all the hangars will pop up, so then I can slide down and find a hangar that's more closely. Let's see this one again, see how big it is, because he used two little hangars to put together to try to make one big one. That was too small. So you just go through them, and eventually you'll find something that fits. You see, and I use my page up to make it flatten out the scenery. So see, there's one too big. I had a couple too small, and I had a couple too big. That was too small. You got all different sizes in here. You can just it takes a couple hours to do an airport, but I have fun with it sometimes. Hangar barn. See, there's one that's more close. So I could put that one over there. See, that kind of covers up the space nicely. And you can have it in different directions. Now I can move, see this little red dot? What I gotta do is I gotta move it up. There it is there. Using the arrow keys. I'm using the arrow keys to move it. So there, I put the red dot over it. Then I can use my Q key. I can spin it. E key to straighten it out. And I could put it in that way too, see? And that's not going to be accurate, but that's how you can move stuff. Now let's say your scenery, you've seen this before. You open up a scenery, it's got some trees on the runway. So let's say there were some trees here dotting the runway. So the way you get rid of trees is an easy way to do it is you go into search results, and you click on this window again, and you go to exclusions. You see exclusions, and you can click on exclude forest, and click on that. See this big red pink square? Let's say there's a couple trees on top of your forest or on top of your buildings here. You can take this thing and you can move this over. Grab the corners. Like that. And any trees that are in this square will disappear. You can do the same thing. If I highlight it, I could add a second one by clicking the plus. You see, now this one will turn red. And I can put this, if there's trees on top of my buildings, I could do this and put this little square over top of the buildings. I'm using my left mouse button to move this stuff around. Hold down the left mouse button, you can slide stuff around. Click on the map somewhere to make that thing go like that. And now any trees on my buildings will disappear. So that's how you do that. Now when you close it, it's been modified. You want to save the changes. So we'll say yeah. Okay, I'll save the changes. There. The changes have been made automatically in your flight sim. But like this fella said, well, I did that, and some of the stuff I seen I didn't like, and I don't know how to get rid of it. Well, all you got to do is start up your overlay editor again. It's actually quite simple. Some people are making this more complicated than it is. It's actually pretty simple. So she's loading up again. Sorry it takes so long. Once it gets all loaded, these things should light up. Okay, the overlay editor is over. Same thing now. You go back here to your custom sceneries. That's all your custom sceneries. You go down to CYWM. CYWM scenery pack, the one we just worked on. You open it again. And let's say I decided that hangar that I added, I go in the game and go to the airport with my plane, and I decide I don't like the look of it, so I start this up again. Because they said, well, I made some mistakes, do I have to reinstall the scenery? No, you don't. All you got to do is open up your overlay editor and go back to it. I'm going to fire it up here. And like I say, when I was looking at it in the default scenery over here, you notice I couldn't move anything because everything was embedded. I had to download it from the gateway and then put it in as a custom scenery, and then everything lit up. And then use your page up to flatten it out. Use your mouse wheel to zoom in. And there's that hangar. If I click on it, highlight it, you'll see it over here. There's that hangar I had, and I decided I don't like it. So when you click on it and highlight it, watch this red X. Highlight it. All I gotta do is click on the red X and it'll disappear. That's all you got to do. You click on the red X, it's gone. Medium hangar. Click on the green plus. If I select it over here, I can click on the green plus, and it's back. Move it over the red dot. You can bring the red dot to the object, or you can bring the object to the red dot. Use the E key to spin it. see? And that's trees. See, this guy's added a forest. And with trees, say I wanted to put a row of trees right here along this road. So I can go in here. Anything you want, you gotta, you see it says PM Library because this hanger I picked was part of that library. But if you go down to search results, that'll let you access all your libraries. So I'm going to type in here, tree. Different trees, you can go through it and find trees. Scroll down. There's a tree. Now what I do is I use my arrow keys and I put the little red dot right here where I want the tree. I'll zoom right in. Let's zoom right in. Arrow key up. I can put a tree right there on the corner. I selected it in here and I clicked on it. I've added it. If you zoom right down, you see this line? That's your tree line. So I can slide that down. It's a hedge, right? See, because it's making a hedge of these trees. So I can move now the arrow over top of that line. Now I can use my Q key and spin it. And I can left click on it with my left mouse button and hold it and drag it. I can put the hedges right here. Well, I'm going to put them over here on the edge of the road. So there it is. I was going to have a little row of hedges here. And the thing is too, if you click on it, you can add another one. And spin that one. The Q key. Trying to get it straight. Left click on it with the mouse. Hold down the left mouse button and drag it. And you can line it up here. And you can just keep adding them and adding them and make this hedge a mile long if you want. And there's lots of stuff in here. Go to that search results. See if I find a... These are forests. If you see forests, another way you can add a hedge is, let's pick this one in forest. And when you get forest, you can click that box, and the same thing, you can make a big long hedge like this, and drag it over here. Drag it over here. Use my arrow key, left arrow key to move over. Take this one, drag it down here. Click on that dot. Left click on it with the mouse, hold down the left mouse key. Make it a little narrower. Click somewhere on the map, make it go green. Now you see that will be a long row of those trees. So, there's all kinds of things you can do. Up arrow key to move up. Zoom down in. Put a couple parked airplanes on here so I can search results. I can type in here Cessna. Let's go Cessna. And there's a bunch of Cessnas. Here's a static Cessna. I can click on the green square and add it. And there it is. And then because it's right over the dot, right? There's the dot right there. I can use my E key and I can spin it. Let's put two of them. But the next, well, that's some grease. See, there's grease on the on the tarmac. Gotta watch where you click. So there's the airplane. I can move it over. Hold down the left mouse button and drag it over. When it's highlighted, click on the map to turn it green. Now let's see, that was a static. That was a static. See, here's one static. But this one up here, animated. Click on animated. Let's stick that one in the map. Use the E key to spin it. Click on it with my left mouse button and hold down the left mouse button to drag it over. And what it is it's a nice little touch. The static one is just a parked airplane. The animated one, it's sitting here with its propeller and its lights on. His nav lights and everything, so it looks like he's getting ready to go, which is a nice touch. And you want to put in a water tower, you can go here. I'm doing a bunch of objects, you can see what I'm doing. Click on here, go down to search results, try tower, T-O-W-E-R. There's control towers. I can slide down here and see what's down at the bottom. Water tower, water tower, water tower. See, it's the same thing. Let's just take this and you got to go through them. It takes forever to go through them, and you can find stuff. I want to put that tower somewhere, so I'm going to move this red button over here. That's a control tower, right? And I can click the green button. And there's a big control tower right there. And hold it with the left mouse button, I can move it around. And that's how you do stuff. So when you started it up, I showed you how to add stuff, how to remove it. Now I want to remove it, so I click on it and highlight it. Anything you want to remove, you click on it, make it pink, click the red X and remove it. That's all you have to do. Now I've got a couple of airplanes parked, I've got my hangar back, I got some trees along here, and click, I think I showed you all the keys, the E and the Q key to spin stuff over the red dot. And you got to make sure it's over the red dot. The W and the S keys and the A and the keys, slide it over. The arrow keys to move the map. The page up and page down to flatten and angle the map. And the other two keys are the home key and the end key. The home key will turn the map, see? And the end key will turn it the other way. So you can move the map that way too, and then you use your arrow keys to move it up and down, left and right. Page down to angle the map. So you can actually angle it, and you can zoom in and see how that building looks, right? And the page up to flatten it. So that's how you use those keys. It's nothing harder and how to add and remove stuff. So I hope this helps you guys. Have a nice day.